Well, hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Minecraft The Journey. I am bugmancx and here we're playing Alpha Minecraft 1.2.1. Look at that stupid skeleton behind me. What's he doing over there? Let's go and check him out. Hey, he's safe because he's got his feet in water and he's also in the shade. He's got the best spot he could possibly have. I don't think I can even see him from anywhere but down here. Hello? 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 Anyway, let's get out of his way, because in today's episode we are going to finally upgrade our world. We've been playing here on Minecraft Alpha 1.2.0 and 1.2.1 for a little while, and we're going to bump up to the next version, which is 1.2.2, and there are some very interesting things in this version that... Did I just see a... Did I... Yeah, what are you doing in there? You get away from my portal, you pesky thing. No blowing up. Thank you. Yes, version 1.2.2. Normally it would have been just a really uninteresting release with a few features to go through and one particular interesting development bug that was left into the game, which we'll come to later. But it happens to be September 2020. Isn't that right, Cal? And in this year and this month, 1.2.2 Alpha became a very special version, and we're just going to upgrade now and get to the reasons why. On November the 9th, 2010, at 2200 hours, Notch released Minecraft Alpha 1.2.2. This version contained a few new features, like lava flows further in the nether, player and mob sound effects are fixed, and nether mobs are no longer hurt by fire and lava. This version is also the very first version of Minecraft to officially support texture packs. And we'll explore all of these changes very soon. But first, I wanted to take a look at one rather innocuous feature that was added to this version. It was added as part of the texture pack functionality, and would end up becoming a widely discussed topic for years to come and make major headlines for Minecraft in 2020. The feature that I'm talking about is a tiny little texture file that was included in the game to represent texture packs, Pack.png. This file has become so ubiquitous within Minecraft because it was the default placeholder image that would be displayed for any texture pack or world save previews. Everybody who played Minecraft had seen this image at some point or another. In Alpha 1.2.2, if you click the texture packs button, like this, a tiny little screenshot of a mountain would show up as the image for the default texture pack, and that image would remain consistent through every release of Minecraft until 1.14, when the default textures were overhauled. In alpha versions like this one, you can see the image in full colour, but in later versions this image was added to the world save screen and displayed in monochrome for any world which hadn't had a world preview image generated for it yet. But where did this originally come from? And why was it so important? In early 2020, YouTuber Salcy1 started a hunt to try and find the original seed for this image. He started discussion threads, tweeted at the developers, and started work on tracking down the original source for the image. Both Notch and Dinnerbone responded, but couldn't remember, but it was discovered that it must have been taken in Alpha 1.2.2 world generation, because that was the first version that the image was introduced in the game's files. A group of fans and technically savvy individuals all got together to see if they could figure out how to find the original world seed for Pack.png, and started working on developing methods and tools for tracking down the original seed that was used to take this iconic image. But the original image in the game's source files was absolutely tiny, only 128 by 128 pixels, and if you look at it on screen, you'll see how difficult it would be to work with. Hundreds of people were now working together on this, and several clever tricks were being used to try and find the seed, like looking at the cloud map and orientation of the direction of the water textures to try and find the approximate coordinates and cardinal direction that the image was taken from, and using the world generation features like the height of the flowing water coming out of the mountain, along with a recreation of the mountain block for block to help try and narrow down the seed hunt. Developers had written new tools to automate the process and improve the accuracy of the hunt, even using crowd computing and supercomputer clusters to help narrow the search. And on September the 5th, 2020, the seed was finally found. Salcy1 posted the first image of the Pack.png mountain since 2010 on Twitter. This was such a huge and celebratory moment for the Minecraft community who had worked long hours for months to find this and solve one of Minecraft's decade-long mysteries. What was the world seed for Pack.png? If you want more in-depth details on the process for finding this seed, you should definitely check out SalC1's YouTube channel, where there are a number of fascinating videos discussing this, and I would strongly encourage you to watch them. I've left links down in the description below to all of that. As for the world seed that was found, I've put that in the description as well. But I thought it might be fun to visit this world seed for ourselves, go exploring, and see if we can find anything interesting. And here's how we're going to do it. I've launched a new instance of Minecraft running alpha version 1.2.2 using the Betacraft launcher, and I'm going to go into a single player and create a new world. Now this is going to be generating a random seed right now with random chunk generation, as we can see, so it's definitely not the Pack.png seed. There is something like 18 quintillion possible seed combinations for Minecraft, so it would be extremely unlikely if we landed in the Pack.png seed right now. I would be over the moon if we did, but it's just not going to happen. So we need to quit out of this world, and then we're going to move over to the file system. I'm in my Minecraft saves directory, and here's world 1, the world that we just created. If I load that up, you can see all of these subdirectories here, and inside of these are all of the chunk data files relating to the world that we just generated. But these are all based on the seed that we don't want, so we don't want any of these. If I go back to world 1 and just highlight all of these files, I can delete them, like that, and off they go to the trash. That means that next time Minecraft loads, it'll have to regenerate all of these chunks from scratch, and we want to make sure that those chunks get generated from the Pack.png seed. So if I double-click level.dat and load it up in NBT Explorer, I can expand the tree here and see all of the information about the world. Here's the random seed, but it isn't the right one for Pack.png. But what I can do is double-click it and then paste in the value from the Pack.png seed, like so, and change the world seed. But I'm going to go a little step further. I don't care about any of these other values, and I want to make sure it's as clean as possible. So if I just get rid of all of these, like so, I'm left with only the random seed value. And that makes sure that any player information that was in there, or the amount of time that I was playing the game, or the world spawn location are completely based on the seed and the seed alone, and everything else is gone. If I save that and close out, we can head back to Minecraft. Here we are ready to go into the Pack.png world, and what an interesting tagline to come up. Awesome community, because if it weren't for the Minecraft community, we probably would never have found this seed. So it is true. What an awesome community it is out there. Let's go in to world 1. Pack.png. We're underwater. This would have been exactly what Notch did when he loaded this world for the first time. And look, there it is. There's the mountain. When you look at it like this, it looks exactly like what you expect. This is pretty special. Let's hop up here, because I guess that Notch climbed up onto this mountaintop and maybe took a picture from here or somewhere like that, hit F1 and then F2, and there you go. You've got yourself a screenshot. Wow. I'd like to put an overlay up the top. I guess the only thing we can't get is the pig, because the pig is just too random for us. We get a cow instead. What I would like to do is get a picture of Pack.png and kind of overlay it over Minecraft and see if we can line up the exact location of where Notch would have stood when he took the picture. And because of my understanding of how the clouds work, we should also be able to get the clouds to line up, because my understanding is that it was only taken within the first few moments of the world, just like we're in right now. So where these clouds are coming in right now looks about right when you compare it to Pack.png. We should be able to even capture the exact moment and recreate Pack.png for ourselves. This is exciting. I've been working off camera, and I have come up with a little tool that will allow us to overlay the image of Minecraft's Pack.png on the screen so that we can line it up exactly with what we're seeing in the game. Let me show you what I have. There it is. There's Pack.png, but it does look a little bit different. I've inverted the colors and I've changed the opacity so that we can look right through the image, but we can also use the inverted colors to help line up the shapes. So if I just move it over here, you can see it's not perfect. So we know that Notch wasn't standing here, but what we can do is kind of move around a bit and see if we can work out by lining up exactly certain parts of the image where I think Notch might have been standing. So what I'm looking for, I think, is things like the trees on the top of the mountain, on the right side of the mountain, and also in the background. And one of the things I should point out is that I have upscaled the image by 4 times, and I'm playing in a 1080p window. I don't think Notch would have been playing in a 1080p window, so this might not be scientifically perfect, but I'm going to do my best anyway to see if I can line it up. Let me have a bit of a fiddle with the locations around here and see what I can devise, and then I will bring you back when I have something as close as I can get. In fact, it's almost there, isn't it? Almost. Almost! Oh, this is by no means perfect, but it's about the best I've been able to line up. If you have a look at my overlay image, you'll see that it's slightly different. I'm kind of a little bit off phase on the right-hand side of the mountain there, but I do line up quite well on the left-hand side. So that kind of tells me that my angle is a little bit wrong, but it's been very difficult to find the exact angle. And if I overlay the actual Pack.png, you can see there's also still a slight angular variation, almost as if Notch was a little bit higher when the picture was taken. But I've lined up every other pixel that I can to try and make it as close as possible. It's very, very difficult. I've just reset the world here, and I'm basically waiting for the clouds to line up so that I can take an exact screenshot. It wouldn't be as exact as I'd hoped because, as I said, it was very difficult to find the exact coordinates. But here come the clouds. They're starting to line up, and sure enough, it's really hard to see on screen, but sure enough, they should soon fit nicely into that slot. The fact that they aren't is probably telling me that my player position is slightly off, but there we go. That's about as close as I could get. Notice how the clouds are a little bit off, so, it's almost as if Notch was actually further over when he took the picture. The clouds are actually a very interesting way of trying to help me find that line up exactly. But look, everything that I do, no, look at that. The beach is all wrong. Now the trees are all wrong. Was he squatting? Was he standing in the water? I don't know. No, he definitely wasn't standing in the water. Anyway, that was very difficult to do. But let's have a look at my Pack.png and we'll see how close it was to the original. Well, of course, we've got my beautiful screenshot here, but if we overlay the original, not quite perfect, was it? But not too bad. Not too bad. See if you can do any better. I think now that we are here in this world, we obviously have to go and explore that mountain, right? So let's head over there, let's swim over and see what the mountain has to offer. I'm kind of keen to see what else is around this area because we know this terrain so well by having seen this image so many times, but seeing it from a different angle and seeing it from up the top is probably going to be quite different. Now, if you look at the original Pack.png, there is a waterfall here with water coming out and then it stops around this point, and I guess this explains it. What you can't see from the original image is that there's a little basin here where the water is being collected, which is why it doesn't flow all the way out to the ocean, which you might have expected it to do. Now I'm going to see if I can conquer the mountain. I think I'm going to go around this side because that side is very, very flat, and see if we can have a look from up top. Here we are, we've almost made it. There's a sheep up here to greet us. Hello. Oh, we've made it. Look, it's the top of Pack.png. Here's the summit by the looks of things. This is the highest point on the whole mountain other than the trees. And look, it's kind of a small mountain, isn't it? It's more like a hill because the whole back section doesn't exist. It's a big valley. But we need to go off this way and have a look across the bay because this is the original position from where the screenshot would have been taken, from out there on that spawn island right there. And that's where we spawned in. So right here, looking back to this area is exactly where Notch would have been standing when he took this original screenshot, just without us here on top of the mountain. So what does this mountain have to offer? Well, let's check it out. We've got a hole. That's an interesting hole. We've got some trees, which we should use to gather materials. We have zombies underneath us, which we might have to go and explore. Maybe there are some caves. let's dig down. And see, actually, before I dig down, I'm going to have to gather some tools. This is survival Minecraft, and we're not going to get very far if we don't have any tools. Workbench, ahoy. And we need some planks. We're going to have to obviously get some stone, but for now, a wooden pick will do, as usual. Feels like day one Minecraft all over again. Let's get it from down here. Got ourselves the stone pick. Now we're ready to explore. I'm going to take this with us because we never know. We just might need it. And I dug a hole down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down here. I've already taken damage. And I'm going to dig down until we find a cave or something. Because there are definitely zombies. You can hear them. They're over this way. So maybe we'll just do a staircase down like this until we find a cave and see what's going on. Oh, it looks like I've just dug into a cave. All right, let's try and find a place to get down without dying. I can't hear any more zombies, so I think that they might have been in a cave up a little bit higher. So let's break into this cave and see what exciting things it has to offer. All right, it all looks pretty good so far. I can't hear any grumbles or growls. There's definitely... Okay, we've reached a dead end. I'm getting some iron here as well so that I can upgrade my tools because, as we know, stone is very tedious, but there's plenty of iron here, so it's going to give me enough to get by. Well, let's see what's off in the other direction of this cave. There wasn't much up that way, so hopefully this end will bring us something interesting. Oh, disappointing, another dead end. Let's get back up to the surface. There were definitely some zombies up there that I'd like to try and find in a cave up there somewhere. There must be another cave nearby. Look at that! There's a spawner above us. Who knew that Pack.png contained a spawner? Okay, we have some work to do. Let's see if we can get up next to it. So it's nighttime and there's the surface. We're very, very close to the dungeon. In fact, it's right here next to us. Let's see if we can find the entrance. Oh, hi. Well, I guess I've found the entrance to the spawner. In fact, it intersects with the outside here. I'm going to wait for daylight so that I've got a bit of an advantage, because this looks to me like it's a zombie spawner. Oh, let's have a look. Well, you can't see the mob inside of the spawner, but given that it's full of zombies, I would say this is definitely a zombie spawner that we found. Yeah, I need a safe place. That's not safe. It looks like daylight's upon us. I can hear zombies burning, so I'm good. Oh, I shouldn't have been so quick. Well, that was fun. At least we respawned really close. Now, if I head back to the mountain, I should find a whole bunch of burning zombies. And I want to discover where that hole was that I dug out, because from where I was located, it seems like the spawner is somewhere inside of Pack.png, which I think is absolutely incredible. I found all of my gear around the back of the mountain, and I just wanted to show you exactly where that spawner was, because here we are on the top of the mountain and there's the island, and just over here, if we had only circled the mountain originally, we would have spotted it, because right around the back here is this little cave, and inside of the cave is the zombie spawner, complete with zombies right inside. Let's get rid of you. So I think all we need to do now is just have a look inside these chests and see what this spawner has to offer. So, are we ready for that? Let's have a look. Ooh, a saddle, not bad. One piece of wheat, some iron, which we could have used, and some of this sulfur. And in the next chest, oh, 2 saddles. What a jackpot. We can make some bread with that. We got some string, we got some more iron. That's actually not a bad haul for alpha loot chests. Well, what an amazing day we've had out here exploring Mount Pack.png and discovering all of the secrets about it, including the fact that it has a spawner inside. If you've been playing this game for 10 years, then you'd be very familiar with this image, but I bet you had no idea that there was a spawner in that mountain, and you'll probably never look at that image the same way again. I know that I won't. And of course, a huge thank you to SalC1 and the Minecraft community who discovered this seed with their incredible talents and incredibly hard work that they put in to discover it. It's just very interesting timing that we upgraded Minecraft The Journey to 1.2.2 alpha at around the same time that this seed was discovered, and the version that this image was taken in happened to be Minecraft Alpha 1.2.2 as well. But in the next episode, we'll be back to our regular programming, so thanks for joining me in this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, this has been bugmancx. You've been watching Minecraft The Journey. Bye-bye.